Bonjour station, this is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
Bonjour Houston, yes, I'm ready for the event.
TVA, this is Mission Control Houston. Please call station for a voice check.
You know, this is Chris Hadfield à bord de la Station Spatiale Internationale. I read you loud and clear.
On the space station.
Bonjour Chris, très heureux d'avoir le bonheur et le privilège de vous parler ce matin. De quel endroit vous nous parlez présentement dans la station
Where
spatiale?
are you right now in the space station? Where are you talking to us from?
J'ai juste regardé
I am just looking out the window here, and I think it is the Pacific. It's always the Pacific because it's a huge ocean, but from time to time we can see the different countries on Earth and in Canada.
Chris, vous êtes dans la station spatiale depuis près de 2 mois déjà. Habituellement, vous conduisez une grande voiture, là. Votre limo, comme vous l'appelez affectueusement. Est-ce que l'espace est restreint après 2 mois?
Call it your own limo. Is it getting too tight right now for you over there? For me, it's very difficult to believe that it's been 2 months. It seems like it's been just an instant. We have Monday and Friday. It's Monday and then Friday again. All of a sudden, time really flies here. We're very busy. We have very experiments, many things to do every day. And the evenings, we have our personal projects. And with this, we have full days, really. I'm very happy, and I hope that I will have more time. 2 months really seem like 2 days to me. But exactly the effect that you're talking about of your experiments, you are very popular. The media all over the world is bustling with all the tweets and everything that you're doing. Are you surprised by the amount of attention that you're drawing on Earth? Yes, it really is a surprise, but at the same time, for me, it's very special because it's a reaffirmation of the interest there is. It is really amazing to see a star that we've created. It's a reality. It's not a dream. It's something we've done together. And with technology like Twitter, I can communicate directly with everybody. And there is a huge reaction. And it's amazing to be a part of this mission, of this experience. For me, it's something very special to have this type of reaction. It's a reaffirmation of the choice I made for my life. And to take the time that we are doing, of what we are doing here, it's very important to make everybody be able to share that. So this is a wonderful reaction for me and for the rest of the crew here on board. And I think the public is very interested because of your experiments. And right now there's children that have written to us, and I see you with a microphone playing. And how is it to live in zero gravity? And sometimes, like when you're playing with a microphone and other things that you do, how is it? Well, life here in zero gravity, it's amazing the things you can do. I'm ready for the Cirque du Soleil now because it is amazing the things that I can do in zero gravity. I am a gymnast and a magician like I could never be on Earth. And this is like a miracle every day to see. I am like Spider-Man or Superman, and I am just used to be able to do this right now, and I'm used to it now. It just is a part of my everyday life here. There are very important things we are doing, scientific experiments to better understand how we exist on space, the psychology, the physiology, and as well, it is a lot of fun. It is a human experience that's unbelievable, and I had been dreaming about this since I was 9 years old. So for all the children around the world and for all the students, it is an objective that is an amazing thing that is possible now. In a few days, you will have the boss of the space station with you. And how is this going to be for you? Well, maybe this is funny, but it's amazing to believe. I had really dreamed of this. This was an objective for me, a goal, and it was impossible in the beginning. It was difficult, but now it's almost possible. Like you said, in 1 week, I will be the commander. The responsibilities will be on my shoulders. It's really a privilege. And many countries throughout the world, many Canadians have worked very hard to support this building, this place. And now, to be the commander, this is going to be my job, and I have been waiting for many years. I've been prepared, so I'm very lucky. But I've also been able to watch the other commanders, Mr. Williams, several months ago, and Kevin Ford now, they have been a great example for me. And I just have to continue the mission that they have started, the health of the people, the health of the station itself, but also for me. Since I am a little guy from Canada, this is really unbelievable. It's amazing. I can't believe it. Chris, you made reference to health a few minutes ago, and sometimes in the International Space Station, somebody can be gravely ill. Yes, health is very good here. It's impossible to have a cold here because we don't have any visitors, and it is a very clear atmosphere separated from Earth, but at the same time, we are chosen as the humans that are in good health, that have a good health to be able to be a member of this crew. But also, if we do have a problem, we do have the training to respond appropriately. We also have a doctor, Dr. Mashburn. I am qualified as an emergency medical technician, and I have worked in a hospital in the United States just to better understand what I am supposed to do. We do have a pharmacy on the station, not a lot, but enough. But if we had a serious problem, it is possible to go back to Earth, of course, to go back home in a few hours, of course. But if it were necessary only. This is one of the risks of being an astronaut, is to be in orbit, and we are ready. Obviously, after all the years of preparation, we are ready for this. And originally with the invention of the planets, right now, can you test this invention that is called microflow, that is Canadian, in space? Well, after 2 weeks, yes, there will be a special vessel called Dragon that will come to be grabbed by the Canadarm, our Canadarm, and I think it'll be the 1st or 2nd of March. And then this special vessel, there will be some experiments, not very large, small, that were created in Quebec, microflow they are called, and it's like a small hospital. Up to now, it was to better understand the health of an astronaut, to see a huge crew or huge equipment. But with this, with microflow, we will be able to conduct tests, for example, blood tests, very simply for astronauts with this very small, it's like something the size of a microwave. And for us, this will be great because it will be better for us to evaluate our own health and for the station as well, so that we don't have to bring things to Earth to analyze. But also it will be good for Canada because there are Canadians that don't live very close to a hospital, and even for them, this will be good, so they can have a higher quality of health care and better life for all Canadians throughout. And because of this invention that is necessary for astronauts, it's like a challenge to have an environment like this. When you have a challenge as a human, then you can create an invention, something new that is a different idea, and that is the result of this. And I hope, and a few weeks ago I started with the experiments with this to see the results and to better understand how this works. Chris, you have 3 children that live in China, in Germany, and Ireland. And during your trips to Canada and to the United States, how do you stay in touch with them, and is this important for you? Yes, it's very difficult if I'm in Houston or in Montreal or here in the station. I have email here, not all the time, just several times a day. It's possible to refresh our email with them. Also, when we have a type of contact between the station and the satellite with Mexico and Houston, it's possible to connect everything with the telephonic systems, and I can call. It's kind of like Skype, and I can call directly to my son. He had his birthday, my son, a few months ago. He was 30 years old, and I called him directly. In China, it was possible, not like that, but with a computer, but it is possible once in a while to call the family. So it's not very different. During the training, I was in Europe, in Japan, in Russia. And for them, it's similar because it's just that daddy is somewhere else, far away, and from time to time, I would send them emails and call them. And now it's possible here with the technology we have available right now. We can do this from space, from the station. We have seen you for Mardi Gras with your costume, and for Valentine's Day also. What do you have to surprise us in your luggage now in the next few days? It was a gift from my wife. It is possible, I think 2 or 3 times during the mission, it's possible to receive a gift. And when they arrive, a special vessel like the Dragon vessel, for example, there is one small part that is reserved for the astronauts. And my wife decided a few months ago to send me this big hat with and also the ears with the hearts. And I found a box here that was called Hatfield. So I looked at it, and I found this funny hat. And I thought, since I was in New Orleans for Mardi Gras years ago, I had decided that it was not made for that. And here we have a big box, just like you may have one at home, a box for Christmas, for Easter, just in a certain part of your house you have that. Well, we have the same here. We have a space for that. We saw you underline also that you've had maple leaves also. And is it true that when we see you a good ice hockey match, you can see it up there? Not in real time. We do not have the capability to do that, unfortunately, but thanks to the communication with the Canadian Space Agency and the station, we are able a little bit later to see it on video, and it's necessary to do 2 hours of exercise every day in order to stay in shape. And so with weights, and well, we use resistance, not weights really, but we also have a treadmill to run, a bicycle. And when I do that, I have the capability to watch the hockey games, and for me, it's very important. The Maple Leafs are important for me. So I saw that this morning. Actually, I watched the Leafs against Ottawa, and I don't even know who won because I haven't seen the end. So please don't tell me. Just a few questions before we leave you to work again. Some of the spectators want to know regarding with sleep. 15 times a day you watch a sunrise, you watch a sunset. What is the time of the day when you sleep? Is it a long night of sleep or a short time of sleep?
Well,
I don't sleep very much because we have a lot of distractions here. Every time that I go close to the window, there is always something incredible to look through and to find at night, the days, the afternoons. It's unbelievable. The angle between the sun, the Earth, the International Space Station is constantly changing. The colors, the textures in the morning, the sunrise, the sunsets. Everything changes all the time. So it's fascinating to look at that all the time. I also can do things in the station that are very interesting, even personal experiments, funny things. It's almost necessary to constantly experience living this. So to stay inside of a sleeping bag to avoid this is almost impossible. So it's necessary to experiment and experience this life. And I'm very excited. It's a very rare experience that I'm having, and I want to absorb everything. And after the 5 months, I don't want to miss anything. And I see that you're very happy to be there. After you come back to Earth, after you have the rehabilitation period, what are the first things that you're going to do? What is it that you miss being up there? Yes, it is a period of readapting. Obviously, there's a lot of physical changes. I have to readapt to being in gravity again. And also here, is a very quiet environment. The being with everybody, that's going to be a big change as well. But for me, I have a chalet in Canada, and this is an experiment here, a Canadian experiment from the University of Canada to take pictures every 20 minutes. That was it. So the Space Agency organized this. It's a scientific experiment. But for my chalet in Canada, that's a very special place for me. When I was a child, I spent my summers there. My wife and I, we bought a chalet there very close to my parents, and that is the place that is precious for me. And I want to stay there for a period of time with my feet up in the air and with not much to do with the guitar, with no time at all, no schedules. And yes, of course, with my guitar. Oh, you have it there. And maybe to think about what I've done and to think, how can I put all these experiences together in order to better decide what effect it had on me. This is what I hope to do, but that's going to be in a few months down the road. Chris, you're an extraordinary example, and with the guitar you have it there. Can I bother you and politely ask you to maybe strike a couple of chords for us? Yes, of course, I can do that. I had the opportunity to do this with Bare Naked Ladies, with Robertson, with the Coalition for Musical Education in Canada. Throughout, it's a privilege for me, of course, and it's also something fun for me. I will sing something for you. Thank you, Mr. Hadfield. Thank you very much.
Merci à vous. Hein?
Thank you, and have a good day.
This is Houston ACR. Thank you. That concludes our event.
Thank you, TBA station. We are now resuming operational audio comm.